Bible Made Simple. My name is William Barrett, and I have a small ministry called the Bible Made Simple. And we're going to look at how the Bible can be made simple today. Using a concordance. This is something that every person that wants to study the Bible needs to do. It's of great value to be able to use a concordance to help you study, so a brief description of how to use a concordance will now be given. You use a concordance much like a dictionary. The concordance that I'd recommend is the Strong's Concordance. It's matched with the King James Bible. And in another study, I'm going to tell you why you should stick with the King James Bible for your studies. But for now, we need to learn about the concordance. Now, just a brief background. I went through school, I attended churches, and no one ever told me about a concordance. And as I began to study the Bible and learn things, I tried to share them, but I could not remember where I had found that text. And so it was very frustrating. And one Saturday night, I got down on my knees and I pled with the Lord to give me a photographic memory so that I could find these texts that I had learned. Well, the Lord didn't answer my prayer the way that I thought he was going to answer it. He actually answered it better. The next day, I went to a shopping center and into a religious bookstore, and I was wandering around, and I looked up on a shelf, and I saw a big book, and I noticed the name said Concordance of the Bible. So I picked it off the shelf and began to look at it, and I saw that it listed every word that was in the Bible and the text where those words were found. And I immediately said, "Thank you, Lord. This is better than a photographic memory. Now, not only can I find the text, but I can do research. I can take any subject I want to and study it in the Bible and see every text." And so this is the importance of what you need to use a concordance for. Now, the words in a concordance are placed in alphabetical order. And the concordance contains every word in the Bible and gives the location of a Bible text where each word is found. So if you know the word that you want to find, you can easily find it using a concordance. And when you want to explore a topic or subject, you simply look up that word that describes your subject, such as angels in this example. You look it up in the concordance alphabetically, and then you proceed to read the Bible text the concordance has listed for you. Now, I've given a partial list here. This is not all the texts that are in the Strong's Concordance under the title of angels. Several things I want to point out. Usually they'll abbreviate the word. In this case, there's a small lowercase letter a in bold type here. That stands for the word angels. For instance, the first one says, "Behold the angels of God ascending," and so forth. And so Strong's Concordance gives you a little bit of the text so that you locate that word and you get the gist of it. Now, right immediately to the right of that sentence I just read is Genesis 28, verse 18. And so that sentence, part of that sentence, "Behold the angels of God ascending," and would be at Genesis 28:18. And immediately to the right, you'll see a number. And in this case, the numbers are vertical numbers. And so that means it's in the Old Testament. Genesis, of course, is in the Old Testament. If you look down the list to Matthew 4:6 and any text after that, you'll see there a bold 32 mentioned, and that is italicized. The Greek is always italicized. And so it's easy to tell the difference. If you're in the New Testament, it'll be Greek. If you're in the Old Testament, it will be Hebrew. 4397 is going to take you to the Hebrew dictionary in the back of the concordance. Now I want you to notice something else. As you were to go down this list of texts that have the word angels in them, you're going to learn a lot about angels. The first one told us it's the angels of God. If you go down to Psalm 68:17, thousands, even thousands of angels tells you there's a lot of angels, and so forth. The last text, Son of Man shall send forth his angels. There, Jesus is going to send the angels to do something. And so, depending on your interest or what you're trying to accomplish, you could learn an awful lot about angels here. All right, in the back of the Strong's Concordance, there is a complete Hebrew and a complete Greek dictionary that's going to be a great help to you in learning the meaning of words that are not used today or that are hard to understand. I've given you a sample here. The Bible text in Ephesians 2:8 says, "For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it's the gift of God." If you turn to the main concordance under the word grace, that's in bold there, you would see several texts. You'd see, with Christ by grace you are saved, Ephesians 2:7. But the text that we just read, Ephesians 2:8, is the one that you need to go to. You need to go to the exact place in the Bible that the text that you're interested in is used, because sometimes the number to the right of that text will be different for another text than it is for your text. In this case, all four texts here have the number 5485, but that doesn't have to be the case. So you want to go to the exact case, the exact text in the Bible, and then look at that word. And then, as you read that sentence, "For by grace are you saved through faith," to make sure it's the right place, and you see it's Ephesians 2:8, to the right of it will be the number again. Now that number, 5485, is going to be in the New Testament, and it will be in Greek. And so if you were to go into the Greek dictionary at the back of the concordance and look up this number, you don't have to know Greek. All you have to do is look up that number, 5485. You would see the Greek letters to the right of it, the English equivalent of those letters, and the pronunciation, charis or charis. That's where the word charismatic comes from. And then it gives you a definition of what grace really means. And in this case, I did not know what the word grace meant. So I looked it up, and I had always heard it was unmerited favor. But this really helped me because it told me the definition of charis, which is the Greek for grace, means the divine influence upon the heart and its reflection in the life. It's a lot more than just something that you don't deserve. It's the power that God gives you in your life, the divine influence upon your heart, to change you, to reflect that influence in your life, to make you like Him. Now, I hope you'll go out and buy yourself a King James Bible and a Strong's Concordance if you don't have one. It will be well worth the expense.